So there's a lot of fun stuff that I do want to go over with you, like how Caitlin was kind of trolling Angel, I think.
Angel Reese is a terrible basketball player. She has regressed as a player. Her decision-making is equally as bad. Her defense is now non-existent. She's gotten worse at scoring layups. She's worse at finishing through contact. She's more hesitant to shoot the ball. She now has eliminated the mid-range from her game. She's eliminated so many of the good parts of her game.
They aren't an even match anymore, so I don't know if this is still like necessarily a rivalry.
Indiana Fever destroying the pathetic Chicago Sky.
Fever versus Sky isn't much of a rivalry.
Caitlin Clark stole the event without even wearing a suit, just when you thought this rivalry couldn't get any hotter.
The Chicago Sky were also trolling Caitlin Clark a little bit because they spelled her name wrong on the Jumbotron. Who doesn't know how to spell Caitlin Clark?
From passionate bench reactions to a heartless reprimand of Angel Reese, this was more than simply a victory for the Fever. It was personal. The Chicago Sky was completely destroyed in front of a home crowd. And let's face it, Angel Reese had one of the worst nights of her early career.
The Indiana Fever beat the shit out of the Sky so bad, Caitlin Clark looked like she was legitimately bored out of her mind. This was domination. And this Chicago Sky team is not even close to the Fever.
You will want to watch this through to the end since we have the complete breakdown, including the highlights, lowlights, and everything in between.
She was minus 20. She's not had a game this year where the team is better with her on the bench than on the floor. Can we stop the myth that Angel Reese plays defense?
If you genuinely believe that Caitlin Clark is the greatest of all time, please leave a remark below.
No Caitlin Clark, no problem. No Sophie Cunningham, no problem. No head coach Stephanie White, have no fear. We came into your building and we just smacked you guys around.
To begin with, it is clear that this was a complete demolition. The Indiana Fever entered Chicago and left nothing but debris in their wake. They won by a final score of 79-52 or 27 points. And believe me, it looked even worse on the floor.
52 points is the lowest point total that Chicago has had since 2011. So it's actually tied for the 5th lowest, apparently, in point total in team history in a regular season game. And the Indiana Fever has beaten the Chicago Sky by a combined 62 points in 2 games.
And get this, the Fever put up a masterclass performance even without Caitlin Clark playing, Sophie Cunningham, or head coach Stephanie White.
And Angel Reese tonight was in for 27 minutes. She scored 4 points. She got 2 assists.
Today was a disaster class. She has had 3 to 4 disaster class games this year.
She's not good. She is just not good.
The Fever set the tone early, winning each quarter handily, especially in the second half when they buried the Sky with lockdown defense and a relentless offensive push. Acting head coach Austin Kelly arrived with poise, energy, and a game plan that worked to perfection. His rotations were sharp and his demeanor was calm.
The Indiana Fever looked like a totally different team since Ari McDonald took over and started orchestrating for the team. Ari McDonald is a threat. She can score in the paint. She can score from outside of the arc. She's just a really great passer. This is the type of thing I think that they were envisioning when thinking of playing Caitlin Clark off ball, because she mentioned wanting to play off ball. This is something that she did do at Iowa.
With 17 points, Kelsey Mitchell topped all scorers after easily getting baskets and cutting through the defense. Despite some foul trouble, Aaliyah Boston managed to score 11 points, grab 5 rebounds, and dish out 5 assists, while Natasha Howard contributed 13 points on an effective 6 of 10 shooting effort.
Tyler Marsh, the coach of the Chicago Sky, says, "I don't think Angel struggled tonight. I think we struggled as a team. It's not about Angel being better for us. It's about us being better for Angel." Nobody scored in double digits on the Chicago Sky. I did not even know that.
The disparity was so great that none of the Fever starters played more than 30 minutes. McDonald was more than just a stater. She shifted the momentum every time she took the court. The Fever fed off her energy and simply overtook the Sky in every category as she came off the bench and lit a spark right away with 12 points, 3 steals, a block, and unrelenting pressure.
Angel Reese right here. She was deep in the bag at this point right here. This is one of her go-to moves. Dribble. Let me throw it up, and no.
From the depths, the scoreboard read, blowout. But the Fever's body language suggested something more. Indiana was deadly, making 11 threes on 27 attempts, or more than 40% of their shots from beyond the arc. They moved the ball, shared the wealth, and appeared to be a team with genuine chemistry and confidence.
That kind of tells you exactly how bad the Dallas Wings are. They got beat 2 games in a row by this Sky team. This Sky team is awful.
Chicago, on the other hand, was a shambles on defense and had no solutions. Even worse, the Fever executed, and the Sky appeared to be in a fog. This wasn't simply a victory, it was a message.
Tasha Howard, 6 for 10, 13 points. Aaliyah Boston, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Sydney Colson, 6 points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 for 5. Kelsey Mitchell, 5 for 11, 17 points. Lexi Hull, look at that, plus 19, plus 20, plus 6, plus 28, plus 27. Lexi Hull, play defense till you're full.
Even in the absence of their stars, Indiana's Ascent fans of Angel Reese should prepare themselves because this was undoubtedly one of her worst performances to date. The stats were terrible. 2 for 7 from the field, just 4 points, and an astounding minus 20 and plus minus. If you watch the game, it didn't just look bad, it felt bad. She appeared hesitant, frustrated, and outmatched on both ends of the court, and yes, she pulled down 12 rebounds.
I mean, Caitlin was pretty expressive like all night. She was just really cheering on the team. There's definitely going to be a gif going around everywhere of this one.
And you have to love the balanced scoring in this one when you get 17 from Mitchell, 13 from Natasha Howard, 11 from Boston, 12 from McDonald, 9 from Hull, on and on down across the board. They got a bunch of 3-point shots up in this game, 27 attempts, which is encouraging, 11 hits, 41% from 3. But the defense is the night and day difference. Now, it helps when you play the Chicago Sky.
And give credit where credit is due. Her work on the boards is always appreciated, but this is the hard reality, Angel. Ree is quickly becoming into a one-dimensional player. While she can rebound, her ability to score, create offense, and defend without fouling is where things are going wrong. Her defensive presence was nearly non-existent, her rim finishes were poor, and her shot selection was dubious. She has now had many games when she has been utterly uninterested or unproductive offensively. During one point in the second quarter, she attempted one of her typical dribble spin throws and completely bricked it off the rim. This isn't just a bad game, it's part of a concerning pattern, a reckless shot in the paint with no hope of separation or footwork.
And this was a Commissioner's Cup game, and there is a point differential. So blowing out the Chicago Sky is a very good thing for the Indiana Fever to be moving up in the Commissioner's Cup.
And speaking of turnovers, she was swatted at the rim twice and failed to try a free shot on 3 of them. Not one for someone who thrives on physicality. That's a red flag. It's not just the numbers, it's the body language, it's the energy. There were times during this game when you could see the confusion and indecision. She was practically invisible offensively, and the defense didn't even respect her jump shot when Aaliyah Boston scored for an Antwerp. Caitlin Clark from the bench erupted in celebration, calling out a travel on Ree earlier. It was loud, it was pointed, and it said everything about how this matchup was being viewed.
So the Indiana Fever, they shot 45% from the field. They shot 77% from the 3. And the leader of the 3-pointers, Ari McDonald.
And that's the part that hurts the most, because this wasn't just a bad night. It was a high-profile matchup with the Fever, a team that has been dominating their schedule. Instead of being the rivalry between Clark and Ree, Angel appeared to be a role player, caught in the headlights, while the Fever simply played her straight up and challenged her to defeat them. Let's be honest, the media turned this into something big, and Angel's personality, branding, and college dominance all created expectations that she isn't currently meeting.
The WNBA is clearly racist. She's been all but forced to put out apologizing for being white and, well, let's be honest, being better than the black girls in the league.
It's not just about scoring. Her decision-making is unstable, and even critics who discussed her as the Rookie of the Year last season are beginning to doubt her trajectory. Her defensive effort is erratic, and more worrisomely, her offensive game hasn't improved much since the season began. You don't expect rookies to plateau, you expect them to struggle. With the statement, it's not about Angel being better for us, it's about us being better for Angel. Early Sky head coach Tyler Marsh attempted to lessen the blow post game. However, let's face it, this was a highlighted player who looked totally lost against a side that came prepared to humiliate her, not a team failure.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
She's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura. So
When commentators state that she no longer even tries to play defense, or when supporters publicly inquire as to whether she ought to be benched, you know something is wrong. In addition, she is turning into a burden. When your name is frequently mentioned in national headlines, NIL deals, and WNBA promotions, that level of performance simply isn't enough. You want to talk about rivalries. You want to talk about Caitlin Vers. Statistically, the Sky haven't played better with her on the floor than off it in any game this season. Angel is good, but let's call it a mismatch for what it is at the moment. Even when she's not on the floor, Caitlin is making waves and turning into a story for all the wrong reasons.
Angel Reese is a liar. Angel Reese is a fraud. Angel Reese is a sociopath.
Describe Angel Reese in one word.
Bitch.
Ghetto.
Bitch.
trash.
Garbage. Mid.
Alright, let's discuss the energy, the shade, and the player who controlled the moment without ever setting foot on the court. The Fever entered Chicago like they had a score to settle, and Caitlin Clark made sure the message was clear even from the bench. From the outset, Caitlin was locked in, animated, loud, and passionate, coaching from the sidelines and reacting to every big play as if she was still in Iowa fighting for a national title. Then came the moment that instantly lit up social media. Angel, don't think for a second that Caitlin Clark wasn't in control of the entire narrative. Caitlin Clark stepped up on the sidelines, pointed directly at Reese and cried, "Travel!" as she shifted her feet in the post and attempted to bully her way to the hoop. Additionally, she wasn't subtle about it. This wasn't calm support or quiet coaching. Rather, Clark was practically calling her shot, and every frame was captured by the cameras.
Caitlin Clark is more mature. Caitlin Clark has decorum.
Caitlin Clark obviously is jet fuel to its popularity.
Caitlin Clark is far better of a basketball player and has made such a tremendous impact in a greater number, more so than Angel Reese. Everybody knows that. Her college career was better. The stadium sales, the WNBA popularity has gone up because Caitlin Clark.
The clip went viral in minutes. Fans were already on edge about the so-called rivalry, and Caitlin just threw gasoline on the Fire Angel. Reese was visibly shaken afterward, you could see it, and Caitlin, she sat down like it was just another day at the office. She knew exactly what she was doing, and let's be honest, that's what makes her special. You can feel her presence even when she's not playing, and the trolling didn't stop there. Earlier in the night, Caitlin was seen doing what she always does, signing autographs, taking pictures with fans, engaging with the crowd. But one moment stood out: a Chicago Sky fan clearly trying to sneak one past. Her handed over a Sky jersey for Caitlin to sign. She looked at it, paused, politely declined it. Was subtle, classy, but oh so cold. She wasn't there to show love to the other side. She was there for her team, and she made sure everyone in that building knew it. But it didn't stop there either, because the Chicago Sky, in what seemed like a not so subtle jab, misspelled her name on the Jumbotron. They put Caitlin Clark with a Y. Now let's be real, this isn't just a typo, this is the most talked about player in the league, the face of the rookie class, a top jersey seller every arena she plays. In is sold out, everybody knows how to spell her name, but the Sky on their home court in a game where she wasn't even suiting up misspelled it, whether it was an innocent mistake or a petty move the fans noticed, and so did.
WNBA rumors suggest Caitlin Clark will be among the first stars making $1 million annually. The most notable of which is, y'all already know who, the needle mover, Caitlin Clark.
So in 2024, she averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 assists, 5.5 rebounds. She shot 37% from the field and 31.8% from three. Now, if you look at her preseason in 2025, she only played 2 games in this preseason, and one was against that Brazilian national team. She played 21 minutes. She averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. She shot 52.5% from the field and 50% from three-point range.
People are drawn to this rivalry even when one team isn't performing well on the court because of the tension, the egos, and the pettiness that these kinds of things create. Let's not pretend that Caitlin and Angel are still neck and neck at the moment. Caitlin Clark is controlling the league's attention, while Angel Reese is having trouble finding her groove. But here's the real deal. Caitlin simply continued to be herself without boasting or disparaging others. Caitlin vocal confident ultras, aware of the spotlight she's in, and she used it perfectly. Meanwhile, her teammates went off hitting threes, grabbing boards, throwing no-look dimes, and who was the first one up on the bench? Caitlin celebrating like she'd hit the shot herself. She's bought in completely. And the Fever, they're feeding off that energy. You could argue that Indiana looked more together without her on the floor. Not because she isn't important, but because she's helped establish a culture that demands excellence. Her presence has elevated the entire locker room, and if you're the Sky, this has to sting. Not just because you got torched, not just because your rival beat you again, but because the opposing star player didn't even need to play to embarrass you. Caitlin Clark showed the world she could dominate a moment without logging a single minute. That's rare. Let us know what you think. In the comments, is this rivalry dead? Was Caitlin Clark out of line for trolling from the sidelines? Or was it exactly the kind of fire the league needs? Hit that like button. If you're riding with the Fever, smash subscribe if you want more of this unfiltered energy every week. And don't forget to turn on that bell so you never miss a moment until next time. Remember, legends don't always need to play to take over the game. Sometimes all it takes is one look, one call, and one moment. This was personal, and Caitlin Clark made sure you felt it.